John Wick 4 is here, and it is absolutely worth going to see. So my expectations going into the film were quite high. My girlfriend and I have been longtime fans of the franchise, and we were very excited for the fourth one. Planned a trip to a town hours away to go to a bigger, fancier dine-in theater than the one we have. So we're really looking forward to it, and it delivered in every way that we were hoping. The story picks up pretty close to after the third one ends with John fulfilling his promise to kill them all and attempt to get away from the table. But this prompts the table to appoint the Marquis to specifically take out John Wick, gives the Marquis carte blanche to take whatever measures necessary to get rid of this problem for them. And he starts by demolishing the New York Continental. Quite surprisingly, it was his character intro was very well done. The the Marquis isn't so much a physical opponent for John Wick as much as just a presence with a lot of resources to deal with. And I throughout appreciated the presence that Bill Skarsgård was able to bring to the role, and that the actions he takes aren't that much. He's just through the writing and his acting is able to communicate quite a bit and be a very notable and memorable presence. So John Wick goes to the Continental Osaka to seek refuge or help from one of the few friends he has left. And Donnie Yen, who's introduced a little before then, and I greatly appreciate his inclusion in Chapter 4. I've been a big fan of Donnie Yen's for quite a while, and it was very exciting to see him included in what's now one of my favorite action films. So the Marquis' presence meets up with John Wick in Osaka, unsurprisingly, and prompts what, in my opinion, is one of the most spectacular action sequences in the entire franchise. Very, very long, but extremely well-paced, as is the whole film. I was a little bit concerned with the near 3-hour runtime, especially given that, in my opinion, the third one went on a little long in the last third. There wasn't enough actually happening. You knew what was going on and what the stakes were. It just took a bit, the action got a little bit dull for me towards the end because there wasn't enough actually happening, even though you knew what was going on. And they remedy that very well in the fourth. Throughout the entire film, action is very well balanced with character, with plot, with things happening, with decisions being made, with actions, with consequences. And it really needed in my opinion, the long runtime that it had, just with how well paced everything was. So, the probably not terribly heavy on plot, even though there are things constantly happening. So John Wick, in an attempt, has attempted to kill them all, which seems unlikely, but then he's given the idea of challenging this Marquis to a duel, which he could just try to kill everyone the table sends at him or kill the Marquis. But as is pointed out, that wouldn't actually solve anything because he's still operating outside the rules, and the table would eliminate him at any cost. So he could attempt to kill everyone, but it wouldn't benefit him. And he's convinced that challenging the Marquis to single combat, following the rules as a way to get out, is how he'll approach things. Won't go much more into the plot beyond that. If you're a fan of these films, I assume you appreciate a simple setup with excellent payoff, and this Chapter 4 delivers very, very well on that premise. Yeah, not a whole lot much more can be said on that. If you like the first three, I am confident you'll like this fourth one. It improves on everything from the first three in every way, at least in my opinion. Better writing, better pacing, and just so many moments that you would want from a film like this. Technically speaking, it's series best sound design, cinematography, choreography, the synergy between the choreography and the camera work is phenomenal. It's hard to think of a different word other than that. It's absolutely superb in every respect. Very, very impressive sequences, just very, very exciting throughout. And they ended this film in a very satisfying way that I'd be personally hard pressed to think of a better way that they could have ended this particular entry. So I'm satisfied with the entire experience, thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'll end this review with a quote from the director that sums up the film well and is also coincidental, since this is the first film that I'm reviewing for this channel. And just after I'd decided what this channel would be about, very, very coincidental that I should find this quote. So the quote is from an interview with Chad Stahelski in Deadline. And it's, "Remember, the John Wicks weren't written to be a movie as much as a love letter to what we love about movies." And that's very apparent throughout I think the entire series, but especially the fourth one. It's people who are very good at what they do, doing what they do to the best of their ability, and loving the process. That is, to me, apparent in every shot, every frame of this film. You have very skilled professionals doing what they love to do, and that the energy is very infectious. And yeah, this channel is just about a love for movies, so I thought that quote fit perfectly for the first review for this channel. If you've made it this far, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next review on It's the Movies.